everyone, Olivia Reiner here for Packers News, joined by Ryan Wood, and today we are discussing the defensive line of the Green Bay Packers and talking about how they fared this season. Ryan, when I think about the defensive line, I think about the run defense, and I think about how it kind of had a tumultuous, there's no T in that, tumultuous season this past season. Highs and lows. I think one of the lows is probably that final playoff game out in San Francisco. What was the state of that? What do they have to grow on this upcoming season?
Well, tumultuous is kind when you talk about giving up almost 300 rushing yards in the NFC Championship game. That can't happen. And this is a defensive coordinator, granted, that has prioritized pass defense and has actually said, I think it was week 4 of this past season, you can fly to Miami a lot quicker than you can run there. Well, the San Francisco 49ers proved that wrong. So, yeah, they need to bulk up and they need to get more athletic, I think, primarily on the interior defensive line. They have Kenny Clark. He's a borderline Pro Bowl talent that is only going to get better at this stage in his career. He's definitely a bedrock for this position. They need more around him. They had Dean Lowry, and they extended him 3 years, $20.3 million. And he didn't have any sacks this past year. He's solid, but they kind of need a number 2 for the pass rush, yes, but especially the run game. They've got to get better in the run game there.
Yeah, so Kenny Clark is the future of this defensive line. Dean Lowry isn't going anywhere, but that being said, who could be that number 2 person? What types of personnel do they need to add on the defensive line in the offseason?
Well, they need to go out and find another Mike Daniels. I mean, you look at, and that's easier said than done, of course, but you look at what happened with Mike Daniels' departure. They never really did replace what he brought to the defensive line. And that's not to say that it was a bad decision on Brian Gutekunst's part, especially because Mike Daniels had his own share of injury issues and at this stage of his career very well could be on the decline. But they need to go out and find someone to replace that gaping hole that's no longer there at that position. And until they do, you're going to probably see what it was this year. Kenny Clark on the interior, and not much else. So that's where they got to go. They got to find a running mate, a partner to kind of work with Kenny Clark on the inside.
All right, so some question marks for Brian Gutekunst to address this offseason. Guys, make sure you're checking out all of our report cards over on PackersNews.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels as well, as we'll have lots of updates for you guys this offseason. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.